Hello, space friends. Captain Snuggles here, popping briefly into your YouTube feed to share my initial thoughts on this roadmap that Egosoft has just shared today. We're looking at 2025 and even out into 2026, and there are some pretty big updates planned here. I gotta say, the farther we go out, the more excited I am for these. But let's take them in order. So right around the corner, Q1 2025, we're looking at a big update to X-Force flight model. And so what this is substantial changes to ship control and flight pathing as part of Egosoft's long-running scheme to make flying in the X4 universe smoother, more realistic, and more natural. Now, not gonna lie, I don't know how I feel about this one. I've never had a problem with the sort of arcade style flight that X4 has. I'm totally fine with it not being an in-depth, realistic flight simulator. But it seems like Egosoft does not share that opinion, and it is their game, so they're moving forward with this. And I gotta say, I'm cautiously optimistic, because even though I'm not sure it's necessary, it seems like every time Egosoft has made a big change like this in the past, it's turned out pretty positive in the long run. So, cautious optimism there, although not a whole lot of excitement on my end. What's a little bit cooler in my opinion is the addition of new sectors. Specifically, it seems like they're trying to add sectors that give the Boron and the Terrans more connections to the rest of the universe, which is pretty cool. It's going to be a big shake-up for those economies at the very least. And then the last free update is a graphical update, which makes no difference to me. I don't even know what these acronyms mean. So, yeah, it goes to show you how much I care about graphics. Now then, moving on to the paid updates, we have Mini DLC 1, which is, well, it's what it says. It is a small DLC that we will have to pay for, and the only confirmed content right now is the introduction of a reimagined fan favorite ship. Now, this had better be one of the big boys. It seems like every DLC so far, or most of the DLCs in recent memory anyway, have all focused on nice, fast, agile little ships, fighters and corvettes, and they're nice. You can fly around real fast, do flips and stuff. It's pleasant, but I really want a big ship. And specifically, I really want a battleship, and specifically, I really want the Split Python reimagined as a battleship. I think that would be super cool, and I know the model already exists in the game files, so fingers crossed for that one. Right, now then, still in the paid row here, moving on to Q3 2025, we're going to have a second mini DLC with zero details whatsoever. So jumping back to the free content, this is pretty cool. We are getting diplomacy, finally. Now, if we look down here, it does not look like this is full-on sandbox diplomacy. We are essentially getting faction representatives in our headquarters, and through those faction reps, we can trigger diplomatic events, which give us the opportunity to manipulate our relations with other factions. But in terms of the faction-to-faction relationships, it's saying we'll only be able to do that in some cases between specific NPC factions. So we're not gonna be able to totally play God with the NPC factions, but this is a step towards giving us a little bit more control over diplomacy and making that side of gameplay more interesting. So, I'm excited to see where that goes. It's something the community has wanted for a long time, and, well, it's great to see it happening in some form. Then, this is one I'm really stoked for. We have very few details so far. It's a long way out, 2026, but they are expanding the exploration gameplay, and man, I love space exploration. Can't get enough of it in just about any space game I play, but unfortunately, frequently that gameplay is really lacking, and X4 is no exception. It seems like the perfect universe to be able to go out and explore and find cool things and deep dark secrets, but, well, the only thing you really ever find is a lockbox with 100,000 credits worth of junk in it. So, this is really cool. We're going to get new types of anomalies, so new things we can find in deep space, presumably, new missions that might send us to find those anomalies, and an improved scanner to help us track them down. As well as, further down the line in 2026, some other major update. So, this is cool. This is really cool. Like I said, I'm stoked for exploration, I'm pretty excited for diplomacy, and I'm cautiously optimistic about the flight model here. And yeah, my thoughts on the mini DLC could go either way, depending on whether or not it's a big bad battleship or another cutesy pootsy little Corvette. So we'll see about that one. But there we go. Those are my quick, off-the-cuff thoughts. I would love to hear what you all think, so let me know in the comments. Thanks for tuning into this brief video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll tune in next time. And until then, this is Captain Snuggles, signing off.